You are listening to Everyday Mystics with Irma Francis. I treasure the belief that we all have an innate wisdom, and this is our ultimate guide. I invite you to join me as I explore psycho-spiritual understandings of the everyday mystic, and as we work together to raise the vibrations of love, peace, joy, and freedom. For information about my services, please visit irmafrancis.com. Enjoy this episode of Everyday Mystics. Hello and welcome to Everyday Mystics. This is Irma Francis. I'm going to take just a few minutes to go over why I was inspired to begin this podcast called Everyday Mystics and what my intentions are. I really would like to give my time and energy during a time in our world where we have so much divisiveness, so much stress, so much confusion, and above all else, fear, so much fear. And I want to play my part in doing whatever I can to bring the higher energies of love, peace, joy, freedom, into our world today as we are going through such difficult times. And my purpose is to bring forward and invite the empaths, the intuitives, the highly sensitive people, and the everyday mystics onto the show so we can share our insights and do what we can to bring these energies of love and peace and joy and harmony to the earth. And I believe that we can do that. And I want to do everything within my power to participate in that. I also would describe the people I want to invite onto the show as multi-sensory human beings. That's a term coined, I believe, by Gary Zukav in his latest book called The Universal Human, which is a great book if you want to have a little guidance from somebody who's been around for a long time. I don't think his first book was Seed of the Soul. I can't remember the title of his first book, but Seed of the Soul is also an excellent book for guidance and referral. I mean, to me, this is what we need right now. So I'm putting out that call, calling all angels, all angels of the earth, empaths, intuitives, highly sensitive people, and mystics forward. I want to hear your voice. I want you to share your insights through this platform that I have created. So to share just a little bit about some signs, if you fall into this everyday mystic, I wouldn't say category, because one thing I know for sure, a mystic does not like to be labeled or given a role. So let me just go on and share some signs to help identify if you are possibly an everyday mystic, highly intuitive, highly sensitive person, empath. So I'm going to go over some of those signs, but let me also just say, in essence, the mystical experience is a state of being in which the personal ego or mortal sense of self merges with the divine, which is limitless and infinite. Mystical experiences are temporary glimpses into our most sacred and ancient home of consciousness. Those who undergo mystical experiences often describe feelings of bliss, ecstasy, unconditional love, interconnectedness, and oneness with all things. And I know you're out there. And I would love to invite you to come forward. Something that an everyday mystic, empath, highly sensitive person, intuitive people, they tend to be, not always, but tend to be somewhat introverted, and they most likely are avoiding having a public presence. And that's one reason I wanted to create this platform, because I know that you are holding such great wisdom and insights that our world needs right now. And I want you to step forward and share those insights with us, share that wisdom with us. So let me just go over a few signs, a few traits. You value experiences above all else. Mystics tend to steer clear of strict doctrines and principles. Because of their innate intuition, they have a high level of trust in their own morality and inner self. While they are driven to connect with the ultimate reality, they feel it must be on a deeply personal basis that can only be achieved through their own experiences. Mystics still turn to others for perspective and opinions. However, these will not be their main and only source of truth. So you value experiences above all else, which means you really, really trust that sixth sense. Being a multi-sensory human being, you're tapping into something higher than the five senses, and you're kind of a channel for higher understandings and wisdom to flow through you. And we need you so much in today's world. So another sign is you question existence. Why am I here? Why are we all here? These are common questions that haunt a mystic's mind. While mystics have the ability to see the connected strings behind every action, it does not mean that they are able to fully comprehend how the universe works and why. Because of their heightened senses, mystics have a natural curiosity about the physical and spiritual world. And that is something I really want to invite onto the show, that sense of curiosity, looking beyond what we can see only with our physical eyes. That's the whole thing that comes with being a multi-sensory human being, is that curiosity. So another sign is you are comfortable with uncertainty. Mystics understand that there is a plan behind every action in the universe, and therefore trust that every action has a purpose, even if they don't know what the next moment will bring. Mystics also trust in themselves and their connection to the universe, that they will be able to interpret any signs and act accordingly. While they are still naturally curious, mystics have no driving desire to force their future. And I love this particular sign. You are comfortable with uncertainty. Mystics have no driving desire to force their future. Not only not to force their future or anyone's future. So there can be a real presence and peacefulness about an everyday mystic. That's a really, really great trait to have. Another sign is you value intuition. Mystics rely on knowledge, language, and physical senses the same as others do. However, their intuitive perceptions offer a deeper form of insight. Mystics trust in their own intuition and value similar intuitive traits in others. Such an important thing to have is to value your own intuition. This is something that gets conditioned out of us. Again, the sixth sense would be our intuition, and it does get conditioned out of us, and we get taught to rely just on our five senses alone, and not that the five senses are wonderful in and of themselves, but to go into the higher senses, again, things that we don't see with our physical eyes, and to trust that you have your own set of rules. Mystics feel a connection to every living thing and therefore are able to look beyond what may be socially accepted. Mystics have an innate trust in their own morality and intuition and are guided by their experience rather than leaders or society. This can often make them spiritual or even political rebels. And yes, I think this is such an important part of being a mystic, that we trust our own intuition, and we pay close attention to our personal experience rather than leaders or society. And it's not to say that it's that we don't have some great leaders in our world. We do, and in our society, we definitely do. But I'm inviting empaths, mystics, highly sensitive people, multisensory human beings to step forward and to really kind of come out of the shadows into the public eye, to share the wisdom that you have to share. Another sign is you value internal growth. To mystics, rituals and traditions are meant to trigger internal insight and transformation, not to appease a higher power. This is another reason why mystics often feel uncomfortable with structured religions. Mystics feel that personal growth towards the universe's ultimate plan must come from within. It cannot be dictated or ordered. Mystics feel a responsibility to help others to find their way. However, they cannot tell them what is right and wrong. Another sign is you believe love is the source of life. Mystics believe that love powers everything. The people and experiences that we love in our own lives are merely a small reflection of a larger, all-encompassing love. Love is not something that originates in you. Rather, it is something that flows through you and every other being. This is such an important key aspect to the everyday mystics. You believe love is the source of life. So those are some signs to if you're wondering, am I an everyday mystic? Am I an empath? Am I a highly sensitive person? Am I an intuitive? Am I multi-sensory? Those would be some signs to ask yourself. Are you? Do you have those experiences that I just talked about? So I just want to share briefly kind of what has led me to do the work that I do, and to create this platform for other everyday mystics to step forward. I had an experience at a very young age that kind of just opened me up to the awareness that we are a soul having a human experience. And it really set the path for my life. Hasn't always been easy. There were many times that I was very confused. And there's something I learned recently. I mean, I've been aware of the chakra system for a very long time, but and I've had a sense of this, but I never really could pinpoint it as clearly as recently. I joined the sanctuary of Anita Morjani. She wrote a book called Dying to Be Me after she had a near-death experience. Wonderful book. And it's something I learned from Anita and in the sanctuary, which is a wonderful community to participate in if you find yourself being a multisensory human being. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to connect with others that will understand you. So something that I became aware of while in the sanctuary and reading Anita's latest book, Sensitive is the New Strong, is that because of this experience I had at a young age, it really opened up kind of my higher chakras. And most people kind of are doing their evolving into spiritual understandings from the lower chakras up to the crown. My experience was the other way around. So what that did for me is I was really, really tapped into the higher chakras, and definitely a everyday mystic, highly sensitive person, intuitive, multisensory. But what happened for me is I had a hard time staying grounded because my higher chakras were just so wide open. And that's something I've been working on and continue to work on. And somehow I have found my way to a wonderful community, as I mentioned, Anita Morjani, and her sanctuary is really, really helping me and benefiting me right now. And I had started the idea for this podcast quite a while ago and just have become really, really inspired, especially with what's going on in our world today, to want to do my part to invite the everyday mystics to step forward and have their voice be heard, to share their wisdom, to share their insights. We really need this right now. We need something higher than what our five senses are showing us and telling us. And I know that everyday mystics have that ability to tap into higher awarenesses and higher understandings. So I really, really want to invite you to come forward and contact me if you would like to be a guest on the show, and we'll have a brief conversation and see if that is might be a possible thing. So thank you all so much for listening today, and I'm looking forward to doing shows on my own, but also inviting guests on the show. And so I hope you all have a wonderful day filled with love, peace, harmony, and joy. These things are possible. We can do this. We can raise the vibrations of being so kind of taken over by fear right now. Let's do our part to bring higher vibrations to the earth right now. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.